You could feel the air thicken the moment I stepped into that ballroom. The pink balloons bobbing like mocking witnesses, the chatter dying like a choked whisper. But it wasn't until I turned, my voice steady as steel, and said, "Everyone, meet my husband and our daughter," that the real storm hit. Eyes widened, glasses clinked to a halt, and my mother's face drained of color, her perfect hostess smile cracking like cheap porcelain. In that split second, years of buried hurt surged up, not as a scream, but as a cold, calculated reveal, the kind that leaves scars deeper than any shout. This wasn't just a family reunion, it was the payoff of a long, silent vendetta, born from the shadows where I'd been shoved all my life. To grasp why that moment felt like drawing blood after decades of swallowing poison, I have to drag you back to the roots, to the quiet rot in Willow Creek, Virginia, where family bonds were chains disguised as love. Willow Creek was one of those suffocating southern towns where secrets fester behind white picket fences and Sunday potlucks. The kind of place where your last name dictated your worth. And mine, Elena Whitaker, meant I was forever the afterthought in the Whitaker clan. Our house on Elm Street was a picture-perfect colonial, all manicured lawns and heirloom china. But inside, it was a battlefield of favoritism. My parents, Harold and Diane Whitaker, ran the local real estate firm, peddling dreams of forever homes while ignoring the cracks in their own. I was the middle kid, squeezed between my older brother, Travis, who could charm his way out of anything and now sold luxury cars in Richmond, and my younger sister, Brooke, the golden child whose every breath was a miracle. Ask anyone in town about the Whitakers, and they'd rave about Travis's sales records or Brooke's pageant wins. Her marriage to the mayor's son at 21 hailed as the union of the decade. Me? I was the quiet one. The dreamer scribbling poetry in the attic. The girl who skipped pep rallies for library stacks. Invisible didn't even cover it. I was a ghost they pretended not to see. My mother's vision of a good life was rigid as a steel trap: marry local, breed early, join the garden club, and churn out grandkids like clockwork. By her rules, Brooke was acing the game, while I was disqualified before the starting gun. I can pinpoint the exact fracture: the day I turned 16 and won a poetry contest that got my work published in a regional anthology. I burst through the kitchen door, book in hand, heart pounding with rare pride. Mom was on the phone with Aunt Clara, gushing, "Brooke's just been crowned homecoming queen, can you believe it? And she's dating the Thompson boy from that old money family." I waited, shifting foot to foot, until she hung up. "Look, Mom," I said, thrusting the book forward. She glanced at it, lips pursing. "That's sweet, Elena. But set the table." Brooke's bringing her date over. "Use the silverware, we want to impress." The book ended up under my bed, gathering dust, while I swallowed the lump in my throat. That night, as laughter echoed from the dining room, I stared at my ceiling, realizing I'd never shine in her eyes, not unless I dimmed myself to fit her mold. By 18, I was done choking on their indifference. I fled to Seattle, Washington, a rainy haven of coffee shops and indie bookstores, worlds away from Willow Creek's stifling traditions. There, being a wordsmith with ink-stained fingers wasn't a flaw, it was currency. I waited tables at a hip bookstore cafe by day, attended open mics by night, crashing in a cramped apartment with roommates who debated philosophy over ramen. For the first time, the weight lifted. I could exhale without apology. Calls home dwindled to obligatory check-ins. Mom's voice laced with that familiar disapproval: "When are you coming back? Have you met anyone decent? Church isn't optional, you know." I'd murmur excuses, then hang up to the soundtrack of Brooke's latest triumphs. Brooke's engaged. Brooke's buying a house. Brooke's trying for a baby soon. I tuned it out, Or tried to. Burying the ache in notebooks filled with verses about lost roots and forged paths. I convinced myself their approval was a relic I didn't need, until fate handed me a mirror that showed me otherwise. It was at a literary festival in 2017 where the shift began. I was there pitching my self-published chapbook, a raw collection on family estrangement, hoping to snag an agent's eye. He was browsing the indie stalls, tall, with dark curls and eyes that held quiet storms, picking up my book like it was fragile glass. "This cuts deep," he said, voice low and resonant. "The way you weave silence as a weapon, it's brutal." Honest. His name was Liam Reyes, a Filipino-American editor at a small press specializing in marginalized voices. We talked for hours, spilling into a nearby pub, shared laughs over bad poetry from our teens, confessions about immigrant parents' ironclad expectations. He grew up in Los Angeles, son of nurses who'd sacrificed everything for the American dream, only to watch him chase words instead of medicine. "My folks still call me the one who could have been a doctor, but edit stories instead," he admitted over lukewarm beer. I countered. Mine introduced Brooke as the successful one and me as the one out west. We bonded over the invisible scars of being the family outlier, the ones who paid the price for daring to diverge. 18 months later, we eloped in a misty Seattle park. Just us, a justice of the peace, and a handful of friends under dripping evergreens. No fanfare, no white dress, just vows we wrote in the dead of night, promising to see each other's fractures without judgment, to build a sanctuary from the world's dismissals. I mailed my family a simple announcement. Mom's response? A curt card, "Congratulations." I suppose. Shame it clashed with Brooke's bridal shower. We had the whole town coming. The subtext screamed, "Your joy is secondary." I stared at that card until rage turned to resolve. I'd stop begging for scraps. Our life bloomed without them. A cozy bungalow in Capitol Hill, Liam's editing gigs feeding into my freelance writing, nights debating manuscripts over takeout. But the silence from home gnawed like an untreated wound, a betrayal that festered in quiet moments. When I discovered I was pregnant, the joy warred with old ghosts. Liam spun me in our kitchen, tears mixing with laughter. But as my belly swelled, the urge to share clawed at me. I dialed Mom a dozen times, fingers hovering over her call, imagining her cooing over ultrasounds or offering advice. But memories flooded back, dismissed achievements, pivoted conversations, and I'd delete the number. Ava arrived on a stormy April night, fierce and wailing, her tiny fists clenched like she knew life's battles already. Liam's parents drove up from LA, filling our home with adobo and lullabies, while my friends rallied with meals and midnight texts. I sent Willow Creek a birth announcement. It bounced back, unopened. Later, whispers reached me. They'd been at Brooke's housewarming cruise. Mom never mentioned it in our rare calls. I didn't press. What was the point of screaming into a void? The years blurred into a tapestry of milestones. Ava's first toothless grin, her toddling steps across our hardwood floors, her bilingual babble as Liam taught her Tagalog phrases. She was our light, curious, bold, turning fabric scraps into capes for her stuffed animals. We thrived. My chapbook evolved into a full novel deal on family dynamics. Liam's press gained traction, our home a hub of creative chaos. Friday pizza nights, Saturday park picnics, a life rich in chosen bonds. Yet, in the witching hours, I'd scroll Brooke's feeds, her McMansion, her doting husband, Mom beaming in every frame. Comments gushed, "Picture-perfect family. Diane must be over the moon." It stung. That narrative where I didn't exist, fueling a slow-burn resentment. I wasn't just erased, I was punished for escaping their script. Blood ties, I learned, could be the sharpest knives. The invitation arrived like a grenade in pink envelope, Brooke's baby shower. Gold embossed and reeking of entitlement. Mom scrawled note, "Be nice if you showed, it's been ages. No +1 needed. LOL. As if I were still the spinster sibling. Unworthy of a life beyond their gaze. As if my wedding ring, my child, my successes were figments. That LOL ignited something primal, a decade of swallowed slights erupting into a plan. Not violence, but revelation. I'd make them see. Force the mirror on their hypocrisy." Liam read it. His jaw set. "They act like we don't exist." "Exactly," I whispered. "Time to change that." Ava, now 4, asked about the other grandma, her drawings featuring stick figures with empty faces. The positive test in my drawer, another secret child, sealed it. I was done paying the price of their silence with my own. Preparation was armor, flights booked. A sleek black dress hugging my early bump. Hair in waves that screamed confidence. Liam packed Ava's favorite sundress. We rehearsed the reveal like a script. "This is revenge?" he asked on the plane. Ava napping between us. "No," I said. "It's justice. For every time they made me feel worthless." Willow Creek greeted us with unchanged streets, same diner. Same gossip mills. We holed up in a motel. Anonymous and safe. Morning sickness hit like a wave. Liam held me, offering outs. "We can bail." But no, the girl who'd fled at 18 was back. Forged in fire. Ready to claim her due. The country club shimmered with excess, pink swags. Catered spreads. A banner proclaiming, "Baby Whitaker Morris arrives." I signed in alone. The attendant blinking, "You're Brooke's sister?" "The one in California." "Seattle," I corrected. Stepping into the fray. Mom held court by the gifts. Brooke enthroned in maternity glow. Opening presents with feigned delight. Whispers trailed me, "Elena's here alone." As usual. Brittany Hayes. Brooke's shadow. Cornered me, "You look different." "Seeing anyone?" "My brother's single, stable job." Before I could snap, Mom appeared. "Elena. You came alone." "I see." Her eyes flicked. Dismissive. The note said no one expected a +1. She waved it off. "Just teasing." Punch! Brooke spotted me. Her smile plastic. "Sis. Still scribbling poems in the rain?" "Mom says you're a writer now." "Novelist. Actually. Bestseller last year." Mom cut in. "That's nice. But 34's late for settling down, pregnancy risks." "You know." Brooke laughed. "Not everyone's cut for family life." "Right. Elena? Career first." The room tittered, painting me the pitiful outlier. Inside, fury coiled, years of betrayal fueling the fire. "Actually," I said, voice slicing the air, "you're spot on. I couldn't imagine kids." Brooke preened. "Some know their limits." Which is why I continued. Pulling my phone. "It's odd, I have a 4-year-old. Gasps rippled. Mom's glass slipped. "What?" I flashed Ava's photo, beaming in her ballet outfit. Ava. Loves stories. Speaks Tagalog. Asks why her grandma never calls. Brooke choked. "With who?" "My husband. He's parking." The door swung. Liam entered. Ava's hand in his. Her eyes wide. The room froze, a tableau of shattered illusions. I crossed to them. Heels echoing like judgments. "Meet Liam. My husband of 5 years. And Ava." Mom stammered. "Married? A child." "Grandchild," I corrected. Invites sent. Announcements returned. "You chose ignorance." Tears welled in her eyes. "We never got." "Lies," I said. Scrolling emails, wedding invites ignored. Birth news dismissed. The weight of their betrayal hung heavy. My revealed a blade twisting back. Aunt Louise broke the ice. "Well. Damn. Elena, you've been holding out." She knelt to Ava. I'm your great-aunt. Been dying to meet you. Liam whisked Ava to snacks, leaving me to face the wreckage. Brooke sobbed. You ruined my day, making it about you. You did, I countered. With your jabs. Your erasures. I begged to be seen. You buried me. Mom collapsed. I thought you didn't need us, always so independent. Independent because you forced it. Every milestone pivoted to Brooke. I was the glitch in your perfect story. Silence stretched. Their guilt a mirror to my scars. Samantha, no. Brooke admitted. I was jealous. You escaped. I stayed trapped in their expectations. Mom clutched my hand. I missed it all, your wedding. Her birth. Yes, I said flatly. The price of your favoritism. Tears flowed. Apologies halting. But I felt the cost, my heart raw from reopening wounds. We talked amid abandoned gifts. Liam and Ava returning to tentative hugs. Ava charmed. Showing drawings, Mom taught her a rhyme from our childhood. It was messy, awkward laughs over tears, but a crack in the wall. As we left, Mom begged, can we try? No, Ava. No, you. On my terms, I warned. No more erasures. Brooke hugged tight. I'm sorry for the envy. The cruelty. The drive back. Ava asleep. Liam squeezed my hand. That took guts. And it hurt, I admitted. Revenge isn't clean, it leaves you hollow too. But seeds planted, texts followed. Calls tentative. When our son, Theo, arrived months later, Mom visited, hesitant, but present. Healing wasn't linear, old slights surfaced. Trust rebuilt brick by brick. The price? Vulnerability. The risk of more pain. But for Ava and Theo, it was worth it, a fuller story. Scars and all. I'd shattered their illusions. But in the ruins, we forged something real. No longer a ghost. I was Elena Reyes Whitaker, seen. Scarred. Unbreakable. And that, in the end, was the truest revenge.